Good evening, everybody. It is December 14th, 2022. Okay, this video is about the 39th book in the Bible, since I had the dream about the number 39 with the book with the number 39 on it. And this is the New Century Version. The Devotional Revolve Bible. So the 39th book is Malicahi. Okay, we're going to read this stuff before the chapters. Okay, the name Malicahi means messenger of God. Person holding the pen God wrote with. Malicahi said himself that he wrote this book. Malicahi chapter 1 verse 1. Who got the word? The people of Jerusalem. When the pen hit the paper. Most scholars agree this book was written between 460 BC and 450 BC because it talks about the Second Temple in chapters 2 through 3. Also, Malicahi brings up a lot of the same issues that Ezra and Nehemiah did. Marriage to non-God followers, children who can't speak Hebrew, social injustice, and shady business among the priests. Malicahi is the last book in the Old Testament, marking the end of the time when God spoke to the Jewish people through the prophets. Hebrews chapter 1 verses 1 through 4. Almost 400 years, known as the intertestamental period, the time between the Old and the New Testaments, will pass before God's voice is recorded in the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So this is kind of like the divine drum roll before Jesus is introduced by John the Baptist. And whenever I was praying last year or the year before, I would sit in my rocker recliner and I would pray. And I heard the word divine one time whenever I prayed, and it's in here. Okay, next section, what went down? After enduring about 50 years of captivity, a group of Israelites returned to Jerusalem to yet another tough situation. Their homeland was in ruins. Once fruitful fields were choked with weeds and rocks, and homeless people and wild animals were hanging out where King David once ruled. They were frustrated, and, big surprise, they blamed their troubles on God. Malicahi tells them they have no right to doubt God's love, faithfulness, goodness, and justice. No matter what happens, they should be hopeful, obedient, and worshipful because God doesn't change. Malicahi chapter 3 verse 6. God's definitely fair. He'll bring proper judgment. Chapter 3 verse 5. He's also faithful. He'll purify those who are repentant. Astoundingly, God says, I will show mercy to my people. Chapter 3, verse 17. After they've been ridiculously disobedient and foolishly rebellious toward him. My throat is dry, so I have green tea. And my shoes make the women a coffee cup. I was wanting to show off my coffee cups. Anyway, because I like them so much. I love cough drops. I love them. There's just like, I have like a thing with them. Okay, anyway. My throat's dry. Okay, so I have green tea. Woo. Okay. Second glance characters. Next section. The Israelite women who had stuck by their husbands through all the hard times of captivity, the long journey home, and the rough adjustment back in Jerusalem were ditched by their faithless husbands for women who didn't care about God. Malicahi, oh my goodness, throat was so dry. Malicahi chapter 2 verses 11 through 14. They were probably some pretty strong women to endure such cruelty. Okay. Well, that tea is really dry too. Maybe it's making my throat dry. Okay. Chat time. Next section. In Malicahi chapter 3 verse 6, God explains that even though they are behaving badly, He will never abandon them. To an unfaithful bunch like the Israelites, that must have been quite comforting. Talk about a time you received similar comfort from God. Talk about a time that you've received similar comfort from God. Or from anybody, for that matter. Sounds like a good idea to me. Does it to you? Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.